Hello everyone, like my new haircut? So I got a few requests to do a gear rundown video, so that's what we're gonna do today. I just got this new GoPro 7 today, which is awesome. The unfortunate thing is I'm still waiting on the adapter for my microphone to plug into this GoPro, so we kind of have to deal with low audio quality today for this video, but my next one will have great video and audio. So yeah, let's get started. This is my bike here that I've taken around for thousands of miles. It's the Specialized AWOL. I'm not sure if they still make these anymore, but it's been a pretty good all-around bike. I've done probably about 5,000 miles on this bike, and it's treated me well pretty much the entire time. But the most exciting part about getting a new bike is putting all the attachments on it and all the additions. So first off, I got this rear rack here. This is from Bontrager. It cost me about like $65. I actually had somebody take a hacksaw here and try to take off the racks for some reason. I'm not sure what they're trying to accomplish. So we had to put in a kind of a stud in the middle here, and then we put around some JB weld to fix it, and it's been holding up pretty well now. I'm not exactly sure what this front rack is. It's been holding up pretty well. I got hit by a car in Hamburg, Germany, and I had to spend 20 days waiting for them to kind of fix a whole bunch on the bicycle, and one thing they had to replace was this rack here, so I'm not exactly sure what it is, so that's not very helpful. In the Czech Republic, I did 3 centennials in 3 days to get to Prague, and by the time I got finished with that, I had an imprint of my seat on my ass, so I had to eventually get a Brooks saddle, and this is definitely one of the best purchases I've made for the bicycle. They make some that don't have the springs here, but I highly recommend the springs, especially if you're using a touring bike that doesn't have any kind of shocks whatsoever. This is about $150, but it was completely worth it. It starts off pretty flat and round, then after about 300 miles it starts to form to you. And it seems counterintuitive that a hard seat would be better than a softer one, but the way this kind of custom forms to you, it really distributes out the weight, and I haven't had a problem since. Second best purchase I made were these Aerobars here. Instead of having all the weight right here on my wrists, now it's all on my elbows and I can just chill and relax here. So I don't even need padded gloves any longer. I highly recommend these. They do make you faster, you're more aerodynamic, but for bicycle touring and you're doing those long, almost over 100 mile days, you really need to get these Aerobars. Like, I can't believe I didn't have these in Europe. These Aerobars have made it substantially more comfortable and kind of more fun as well. You kind of feel like Superman. Typically when I'm cycling, it's not exhaustion or muscle soreness that makes me end up having to stop for the day. It's my ass is getting sore and my wrists get pretty numb and tingly. And having this Brooks saddle and the Aerobars have definitely improved that a ton. The next serious upgrade I made was getting this Dynamo Hub here. This one's made from a company called Sun. And these are the best Dynamo Hubs on the market for sure. They're not cheap. This one was about $300. And then I had to spend an additional $170 to have my local bike shop lace it into the tire. So I still need to solder this wire here that goes into the hub. I just haven't gotten to it yet, and then I'll heat shrink these little tubes here and it'll be one fixed unit. So this wire I have coiled around my fork with some black electrical tape, and it eventually leads to this little guy right here that's called a regulator. This is, I guess, the second best one on the market. The best one on the market from a guy called Forumslader. He makes them by hand in his garage, basically, and it takes about 6 weeks to fulfill your order. I didn't have that time, so I got this one that was second best. This is about $150. This is a 100% necessary item here. Without this, there's no way to transfer that energy here to your cell phone. Here's the USB cord right here. You can also get a pretty large power bank that could last you 5 or so days. If you're going to be doing a tour in a more populated area, that might just be your best bet, is just to get a big power bank that will last you for a few days. I'm gonna be doing up to 5, maybe more days with nothing in between. So I need to make sure I can generate power, rain or shine. So these are muddy as hell, but I like to use clipless pedals. There's, honestly, the majority of cyclists that I encountered in Europe didn't use clipless pedals. They just used regular shoes on regular pedals. I've been reading some articles that say that using the clipless pedals really doesn't improve your performance that much. I just kind of like it. I like being completely locked into my bike. It kind of makes me feel like the bike and myself are one entire unit. It's just mostly in my head, but I prefer it. That's all personal preference. If you are going to use clipless pedals though, you definitely need to get the kind here where they're reversible. In my Europe trip, I only had the pedals where we had this on either side. So anytime I wanted to cycle anywhere in town, I'd had to bring a backpack with a change of shoes so I could use my cycling shoes here, and then I have to change my shoes every time I got off the bike to walk around town or to the store or whatever. Apparently this portion of the video got deleted somehow, so I'm having to re-record. But I wanted to talk about my tires here. So I'm using the Specialized, let's see what they're called, the Burrows. The main thing is that these Specialized tires have this Armadillo Kevlar composition. These are my old ones that I was using in Europe. I've put probably about 4,000 miles on these tires, and they look brand new still. Last thing, here's my computer here, kind of hidden behind my Aerobars. I was using a wireless computer for a while, and it kind of got glitchy and it wouldn't communicate properly, and I just didn't really trust it. So I had to order through my bike shop a wired one. Just it's more reliable, and it's one less battery to have to worry about. Yeah, that's the rundown on the bike.
Shit.